That's so much worse than what you said about Quez Watkins. Yeah, let me tell you.
Wait. I guarantee Quez Watkins has a better year than KJ Hamler.
Woo! I like this one. What are you shaking on?
50.
Yeah.
Welcome back, you Degenerates, to the #1 fantasy football podcast in the world. I'm your host, Mike, with my dear friend, Billy.
What's up, Mike?
How you doing, boy?
Dear friend Billy.
I'm doing well.
Splendid?
Yeah, it's deer.
Deer.
Doing deer.
Joe Dreen, how you doing?
Deer.
That's pleasant.
Roadkill.
Roadkill. That was almost the intro a minute ago.
Yeah.
Talking about hoes. We're talking about the AFC West this week. Starting off, we have some big news. Rob Gronkowski is retiring.
Officially again.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this is real?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's done. I think he was done the first time he retired, but then he came back.
You don't think this is like a Brett Favre thing? Or like, let's just not practice and...
Nah, because I think he's old enough and they know what he is. He didn't really need to go practice. So he makes enough money otherwise to just pay the fines if he really didn't want to go. I think he's done.
Yeah, there was no reason for him to announce it, right?
Maybe he just wants a big payday for the last one.
No, but he could have just stayed like this until training camp, ended training camp, and returned. Like, he didn't have to announce his retirement to not sign with the Bucs until then.
Yeah.
Someone wrote Cameron Brate season.
I don't like Cameron Brate as a player. There's value there.
There's definitely value.
Opportunity.
Considering what Gronk did last year, I think someone has to step up.
There's opportunity. You know, we talked about it with Chris Godwin most likely not being ready at the beginning of the year. Now Gronk is not going to be there, allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Russell Gage fills in. I think Russell Gage just got a boost.
A what?
A boost.
A big boost. You know that.
Yeah, I mean, everyone benefits. Like, Mike Evans benefits, you know.
Mike Evans should be the first overall pick now.
I mean, he's up there, but yeah, I saw someone say Cameron Brate's top 10 tight end guaranteed now, and I was like, I just don't know if he's talented enough to.
Yeah, has he had? I think he had one good season where it was like, he was top 10. I think he was.
Was that with Jameis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Here we go.
That's crazy.
The year before they drafted OJ.
He did have.
He
had one season back in 2016 where he had 660 yards and 8 touchdowns with Tampa Bay, and I'm assuming that was Jameis because it was 2016.
Mm-hmm. So. 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had.
That was top 10 season.
That had to have been.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that. I don't know.
So you're saying is Jameis can produce?
Right. I just don't know.
We're back on Jameis. Jameis can produce.
I'm not gonna, pick Cameron Brate. He's not on mine. He's too old. He's got to be 34.
He's not somebody like I'm excited. I'm not like I gotta pick this guy at the draft.
No, yeah. I don't think anyone's drafting Cameron Brate. I'd say
if you're going like no tight end and just like your last pick is gonna be a tight end, go ahead, sure, whatever.
If you pick up Tom Brady, I think you'd think more about it, especially because Brate you don't have to probably pick up until like the 10th, 12th round.
Now we're also assuming Brady and Cameron Brate have a good connection with each other, and we don't know that to be true.
Yeah, why don't I crown?
Yeah.
They have 2 rookie tight ends behind Brate too.
Names?
Cater Otten and Keft. No idea. I don't know anything.
Keft is a blocking tight end. He's not going to do much, but the other one is more of a wide receiver.
So Cade Otten
would be, but he's like I said, whenever a rookie tight end comes in the league, you got to learn blocking, you got to run route running. It just doesn't look good unless you're Kyle Pitts. So
yeah. That's crazy that you had a whole different song last year.
Well, it's still right. He looked hard.
I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, I wonder who was really right about that conversation.
It was kind of 50-50. It really was.
Because if it wasn't for him having 0 touchdowns, essentially, he had an awesome year, but he just no touchdowns.
He broke records, but had 0 touchdowns.
But think about how many of those plays were just one big play.
He had a lot.
How many of those yardage was just 50 yards, 60 yards, and he still didn't get in the end zone.
Yeah,
he had one touchdown. Yeah, I don't know. I just was thinking back. That was a interesting debate.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's start off with the Chiefs. We're going to the first hardest ranked schedule this year. They're traveling the 17th farthest with 16,000 yards.
Miles.
I don't know why I say this every time.
Why don't you just write miles?
I did. Honestly, I did write it on one of these. I just don't know which one.
Just write 16,000.
Just 16,000. I don't even put a comma, which makes me have to like actually think.
Yeah.
Is it farthest or furthest? Like
Furthest.
It's definitely furthest.
Okay.
My English is good, but it's not great.
He speaks English good, not well.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, not well. The key additions are Juju Smith-Schuster, Sky Moore, second-round pick, Marquez Valdez-Stanton. I just butchered that.
Wow.
That was top 10.
Wow. Just call him Stan. And Ronald Jones. Spin, circle move.
Spinorama.
Key losses is Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins, DeMarcus Robinson, which I don't know where he went.
Well, Raiders.
Raiders. And Brian Pringle, who went to the Bears.
Byron.
I said that when we wrote it too.
Tough.
Yeah, they basically lost their whole wide receiving core.
Yes, this is a new team.
So.
This is a new team on offense. Only key thing is going to be obviously the best tight end probably of all time, and that is Kelsey. Any arguments there?
I think it's debatable that he's the best all time. I think Gronk is in the conversation.
I just don't think Gronk has the long time.
The longevity. No.
Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez, another one.
Yeah.
I would put Tony the number one in my opinion, but
yeah.
Anyway, he's top. He's one of the best.
He's top 3 for sure.
Next up, we're going to talk about the wide receivers. Tyreek Hill is gone. Almost 300 targets walking out of the door last season, coming from this offense. More than half of the opportunities of the passing attack will emerge to a new wide receiver.
Yeah.
Who is going to be the wide receiver that emerges for this offense?
The guy who's been there the longest.
Who's that?
You know? The guy who runs like Tyreek.
Oh, I thought it was Josh Gordon.
Oh, man. I wish it would be Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon gonna
I
eat?
would love to have fun talking about Josh Gordon like I do every year.
Josh Gordon.
We'll talk about it
Flash Gordon, baby.
when it comes down to it. This guy averaged 35% more fantasy points without Tyreek Hill. He's also a big yak guy. 502 out of his 693 total yards were after the catch. Give this guy 30, 40 more targets, maybe even 50. He has real chance to be a sleeper for a wide receiver one.
Who's this sleeper?
Third-year booster.
Third-year booster.
A boost.
A boost.
Mecole Hardman.
Oh, boy.
I think.
Technically his 4th year, but
Is it?
yeah.
Wow.
Wow, you wrote that? You bum ass.
I didn't write that.
You could have just cut him off before he went that far.
Yeah, you could have cut me off. You could have erased it.
You could have produced these fucking notes.
I'm just saying it's his 4th year.
This guy. 4th-year boost.
Yeah. He was hurt for 1 year. It's okay.
Yeah, he was punt returner most of his rookie year.
His rookie year, yeah.
Yeah. 3rd year as a wide receiver.
Not a toy.
Not a toy. I love Mecole Hardman. He's the only guy in this offense that knows the offense besides Kelsey. So he's already 5 steps ahead. They can use him in similar packages that they use Tyreek. Obviously, he's not Tyreek, but he has the ability to play in that same role. You guys agree? Disagree?
It's hard because I'm so high on Juju this year, and I hate Juju. Everyone knows how much I hate Juju. I think Juju could be a top 15 wide receiver this year. Just because I think it's a wide receiver that Mahomes has yet to have as like a big body, bots out type of wide receiver.
Like Josh Gordon?
But Josh Gordon has never been, he's not the same. He's too much snorting, too much stuff. So
It's crazy. I actually agree with Mike on this.
Yeah?
I'm on the Juju train.
You're on the Juju train?
Yeah, I think
That scares me that you guys are both
It's scary
on that.
because I don't have a third-round pick.
No, but I think you're right. Mahomes has never had a receiver like Juju, which is like over the middle, catch the ball, a good route runner.
You break a tackle.
You're right. He's never had Travis Kelce his whole career.
Travis Kelce's
different.
Different, though. He's a bigger tight end, a bigger target. Juju's
Who runs over the middle, can break tackles, and runs great routes. Yeah,
but
you're right.
I'm talking about a receiver, though. But like Kelsey's going to draw double coverage every play.
Absolutely.
So now it's just Hardman and Juju.
Yeah.
And who do you trust more? You going to trust Hardman at 5'8", 180 pounds, or you going to trust Juju?
I mean, he trusted Tyreek Hill, who's 5'7", 175 pounds.
Yeah, but Hill is just the fastest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Miko's fast too.
It's not the same. Listen, it's not the same. Fast.
No, it's okay. He's not Tyreek Hill. Listen, I've watched Miko since he was in high school. I literally saw him live once, and I thought the guy was going to be an absolute stud when the Chiefs drafted him. Problem is, he's not a good route runner. He's like average at best, but he's fast as fuck, and that's why he gets 600 yards receiving a year.
After
500 after the catch.
500, yeah, right. Like he's fast, but I just don't think he's talented enough to take like that role. Like I think Juju would be more of that player.
Juju's only coming off of a shoulder injury, so I'm not worried about his knees or ankles or anything. So
you guys were worried about Juju being the wide receiver one. What was that, 2 years ago? I'm guessing.
Yes,
2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So back then you guys were worried about him then. Why aren't you worried about him now?
There's Kelsey.
I think that's the difference.
There's Kelsey.
Okay.
I do think that's the difference because, like, if he's
they're both going to produce. I'm not.
Yeah.
Like there's very real possibility, as usual, that this could be finally a more structured offense instead of 1 week is this guy, 1 week is that guy, and it's always Kelsey.
I mean, it doesn't mean that Harmon's not going to have his best year.
Oh yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you in the fact that I think Juju's going to have a good year.
I think
I'm assuming you think he's gonna have like a top 10 year.
Juju.
Yeah.
He said top 15. So 1,000 yards. Yeah. You're talking about 8 touchdowns, something like that. Okay. Yeah.
It's a known fact that Mahomes has never had two top 40 wide receivers.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's the stat.
Probably correct. Probably. I don't have the number.
I'm pretty sure it's two top 40 wide receivers. It's always Hill and Kelsey, and then there's never been another wide receiver 2 for this offense. Yeah. I think this will be the first year he has 2 top 30 wide receivers.
Okay.
Maybe.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm low on Juju. I just think like the ceiling I'm going for the ceiling with Miko. And
then we have like the total outsider of Sky Moore.
Yeah.
Who was probably one of the most during the draft, he was probably the biggest riser going into as a wide receiver after the combine and everything. That everyone loved him. They say he's like they compared him to AJ Brown. Not AJ Brown. Brown, the Steelers. Antonio Brown.
Yeah, so it's a big stretch.
That's a massive stretch.
I'm just saying. They say like coming out of college, that's his comp.
Like the same play style.
Yeah.
I think he, to me, more fits the mold of like the fast, small receivers they've been drafting for years. Tyreek Hill.
No, he's thick.
Yeah, but he's fast. Like he runs a lot of go routes. If you watch his tape at Wyoming.
Well, it's Wyoming, so.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, though. He's not as fast as those guys, but he's not that big. He's 5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah. But Brown is 5'10". Doesn't play like it.
That's a bold 5'10" for him.
Is he 5'10"? Yeah, you're right. He's short. 6 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's short. Like saying he's 5'10" is like saying Mike's 5'10". Yeah. That's just.
Joe Dreen said I was 5'9" once.
I know, it was crazy.
I walked out.
He was also wasted.
Fair. That was another fair point.
Then we have Stanton, which is obviously a tall 6'5" type wide receiver who does run basically the go route. That's basically what he did at Green Bay. That's what I'm guessing he's going to do on this team as well. He's going to play outside. It's going to be hard to see where he fits into this offense. This is one of those teams where I don't think you're going to see Mahomes a lot in the preseason, but it was nice to see where the other wide receivers play as rookies. Sky Moore, Stanton's going to play. And then you got Valdez, Sky Moore, and Juju. So
I have an interesting question before we move on to the running back situation. Do you think that because the Chiefs has Sammy Watkins, now he's in Green Bay. Scantling was in Green Bay, now he's in the Chiefs. Do you think either one of their situations have gotten better?
Yeah, I think Watkins got better.
I mean, that's hard to say. They both had elite quarterbacks already.
Yeah,
what changed?
But like neither one of them were producing.
Well,
what makes
Watkins isn't? Well, there's still nobody in Green Bay.
Right. So you'd think Sammy Watkins is in
like at least spot. Green Bay was like. I mean, at least the Chiefs were like, you know what? We're gonna trade Hill. Let's go pick up Juju. Let's go draft the second round wide receiver.
Yeah.
Let's still go pick up Scantling.
Say his name right once, please.
Scantling.
It was just a topic I saw trending on Twitter. That's all. I just wanted to see what your opinion was.
I would say Scantling is in a better spot because I think he's better. There's a better chance he starts than Sammy Watkins.
Okay.
I think opportunity is better for Watkins. So
that's fair.
I'm a Sammy Watkins lover, so I'm required to say that. Sammy Watkins.
There's one name on the Chiefs that we didn't mention, a wide receiver who I think is really to watch out for because he didn't get drafted. He didn't get drafted because he's hurt. Justin Ross.
Ross.
And I think if he is healthy, now that's a massive question mark. He has a neck injury or a back injury, and
back.
I forget the name of the surgery he needed, but it was like almost career ending. They don't even know if he could play. But if he plays, that guy is a big target. 6'4".
Didn't he play last year?
He played at Clemson. Yeah, he did.
He played.
But he had the back injury I guess sometime during the season. But he's someone like if he's healthy, man, like he's kind of fast, not that fast, but big receiver.
He's big.
You give him the 50-50 ball, like
he's. I'll tell you exactly who he is. He's a lesser Higgins.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my comp. I've said it all year. That's who I thought he was. He's a lesser Higgins.
I just don't think he'll stay healthy. Again, I think in a dynasty league you're looking at him, but you're not looking at him in a redraft. Like, there's no way. That's like that's like the biggest risk of all time if you draft him.
Nice little 15th round flyer. Never hurt anybody.
True. It could be.
It's like somebody draft Josh Gordon for like the last decade, you know?
Yeah.
Why not?
He might not smoke weed this year. I don't know.
Now he can do it all he wants.
Right.
Next up, we're going to talk about the running backs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has some competition as Ronald Jones enters into the mix.
Mm-hmm. I think you were a big Helaire guy last year.
Yeah, I was. I don't missed that one.
Mike and I both were big Helaire.
I don't know if it's just Mike Juju that happened, but he had 0 touchdowns last year in 10 games. It's not great. That's not what you're looking for starting running back.
Did he really? I thought he at least had one.
He could have had a receiving one, rushing touchdowns.
I think he had a receiving.
No, wait, yeah, he had 4.
He got a fat check. He had 4 TDs inside the 20-yard line. It says
that says there. Ronald Jones, you moron.
Oh.
No, I'm telling you, I picked up Clyde's stats right here. It says 517 yards rushing, 4 rushing touchdowns,
That's
2
crazy.
receiving.
Where I'm getting this information from is wrong.
This is why you have a producer. He doesn't do nothing.
Yep, this is why you're supposed to fact check.
Wait, who wrote that?
I did.
Oh, really? Where'd you get that?
My stats are fat checked.
I got it. No idea where I got it from.
Because I have his stats.
He's on ESPN. No wonder.
No, I just pulled it up because I didn't trust because you didn't put up the stats. But it felt like he had 0 touchdowns last year.
Jeez, what? Oh, that's fantastic.
Can we cut this out?
I could shop it. I could try.
No, I got nothing to say. I'm done for the rest of the day.
I'm done
for the rest of the day.
That's a tough one to swallow.
Yeah.
No, I agree. He felt like he didn't have nothing. It's true.
I got nothing to say.
I mean, he definitely had a down season.
No, I was expecting like at least 50 catches out of him. I don't even have his stats, but he really.
This is why we put the stats in the notes.
This is what I usually do. He's mad I didn't.
He didn't do anything.
He had. I'll tell you right now. He had 19 receptions.
I don't know where I got that from.
I felt he should have had 50 receptions going into year 2.
Yeah, well, especially look at year 1. 54 targets, 36 receptions. He was virtually invisible in the passing game the second year. And the best part was, I remember having arguments with people on Twitter about this, like how involved he'd be in the passing game, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna see like 70 receptions."
Yeah.
And then 19. I mean,
it's horrible. I mean, he did miss a lot of games.
He missed 7 games. Yeah,
7 is a lot.
That's a lot.
It's almost half the season. He didn't even do much after he came back. It's honestly I honestly don't even know who's gonna play playing running back. You didn't even say what's his name. Who's the third running back? The playoff pro.
Well, they got rid of Damian Williams, if that's what you're talking about.
No, the other one.
They have Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, McKinnon. Yeah. McKinnon was so hot in the playoffs. It'll be interesting to see if he plays early in the year.
They also have Derek Gore, who
no, he sucks.
Wasn't much. But.
Yeah, he's not very good. Either am I. So.
All right, we're gonna cut it loose there.
Wait. But no, we never even talked about.
What's the point?
What do you expect of Clyde? Just real quick.
What do I expect? I'm not taking him anywhere after the 4th round.
What's the split look like between him and Ronald Jones?
60-40.
I think that's a fair number.
60-40.
Mike's pondering.
I don't even think
Mike's just envisioning Ronald Jones spinning.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I think Ronald steals the goal line carries.
Yeah, that's what my stat was about, but I got it all fucked up. So
absolutely.
All right.
Clyde was lucky to get like 15 carries in a game. So what is he gonna go like? It's gonna be scary. Like you'd be like 12-8.
Yeah, I mean, last year he had only one game with more than 15 carries.
Yeah, so, exactly. He had 15 is his max, and then if Jones is taking 8 carries from you, that's not good.
Yeah, and
it's almost not draftable for me.
Jones had a 1 year like $700,000 contract, so it's like a show me contract. So he's gonna go out there and try to ball whenever he's on the field.
I also think it's safe to say they're probably still a pass first team even after losing Tyreek Hill. So.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Next up, we're going to talk about the Chargers. 13th hardest ranked schedule coming up, and the 17th furthest with 23,000 miles. So that one good?
Yeah, nice. That was clean.
Key addition is going to be just their 4th round pick, Isaiah Spiller, which is probably the biggest topic we're going to talk about. This offense pretty much stayed the same besides running back. They signed back Mike Williams this year to a nice contract. It would have been a lot better if he waited a little longer. But we're going to talk about running back here. Let's talk a little bit about this new running back.
Okay.
Spiller, consider all-around back. Comments, he's stout frame, 6 foot tall, 217 pounds. Ability to run through the defenders. Spiller recorded 100 forced missed tackles across the final 2 seasons at Texas A&M. So why am I saying this? We're talking about Austin Eckler, a smaller frame back, who's not, I mean, he's good. He's good. He gets touchdowns, but he doesn't get touchdowns just running up the middle. It's usually a trick play. It's passing out of the backfield. When he does get a rushing touchdown, it's usually because he's outside the 20-yard line, breaks the tackle, and goes long. Now enters Spiller, who's one of the 3 running backs they drafted in the last 5 years. They still have Joshua Kelly, who was a big running back. Roundtree, big running back. I think Spiller is going to start taking carries from all of them. Doesn't look good for Eckler.
Why wouldn't it look good for Eckler? I don't see
because he's going to take the goal line back. He's going to become more of a goal line back. That's what I'm saying.
I guess it takes some work, but you're not getting, like in a competitive game, they're not taking Austin Eckler off the field for a 4th round pick. They didn't do it with Joshua Kelly. They didn't do it with Justin Jackson. They didn't do it with Larry Roundtree. They do this every year. They draft somebody.
We saw Joshua Kelly took a lot of snaps away from Eckler the year 1. Now he looked like he got put on the bench for some reason.
He sucks
because he's not good.
Are they gonna try the same thing with Spiller? And no, this is not related to the Spiller that was on the Bills. Everyone always asks that. It's not related.
I thought that the first time I saw it too.
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
I don't see it.
I think there's some concern. Eckler had 10 rushing touchdowns inside the 10-yard line last year. So I think there could be a regression there, only because in the prior years he had 2, 3, 3, and 1. So like you're probably looking like a realistic number is probably more around like 6. So I think there's somewhere there. I also think they'd want him to have less carries than 206. That was his career high by a long shot. Yeah. So I think he's probably looking at more like 150 to 170 carries compared to that 200 number.
And I think Roundtree probably gets cut. Kelly might get cut, and they might just keep Justin Jackson and Spiller.
Yeah, maybe. But even with all that said, my final point was like he's still a reception machine. Like only Christian McCaffrey rivals this man out of catching the ball out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not worried at all about Austin Eckler's workload. As he gets 3 less touchdowns in the red zone, he's going to make up for it catching the ball.
You're going to be worried. He's going to be worried about 60 less attempts rushing the ball. That's for sure.
He might be more effective though if that's the case. He might not get hurt. Remember, he kept getting banged up because he had so many touches. So yeah, it's probably. I'll say this: he probably won't have the same season he had last year. It's 16. No, we had 20 touchdowns last year. How could you expect someone to repeat that?
And that's why I have to tell the people not to repeat it.
But even 75 to 80% of that's still a top 15. Not a top 15. Top 7 running back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's not going to prevent Isaiah Spiller would not prevent me from drafting Austin Eckler in the first round.
No, he's still going in the first round, and he should, but you gotta think about it. Gotta think about it.
I'm just curious what your point is. Like, yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Austin Eckler's available? I'm taking him. Like, that's the.
Mike, I was pretty high on Spiller coming out of the draft.
Question, Mike. We just did our.
He's not Joshua Kelly coming out of college.
Listen, we just did our draft order right before the show. Austin Eckler's there at 12. You taking him?
Absolutely. I have no running back at 12.
So I don't know what we're talking about.
And listen, in mock drafts, he's going what? Pick 4, 5?
Yeah.
You're taking him.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think you're overthinking it.
He's overthinking it. He's definitely overthinking it.
If you're taking another running back in the 4th round when you have plenty of other holes,
because the
offensive line is not very good.
But he's not dependent on that though.
Yeah.
He's dependent on passing receiving the ball. Is he not? I mean that's what he makes.
If he's taking 8-9 carries away from you, I think that's huge.
That's not going to happen. Be 3 or 4.
Yeah, I bet you it's more than 4. Look at the carry from the rest of the team. 68 attempts from Justin Jackson. Kelly has 33. Roundtree has 36.
Yep. What does that to do with anything?
Austin, let's look at this. He averaged 13 carries a game. He's not going to go from 13 to 5. He's probably going to be about the same.
Yeah.
You'll see. Wow.
They're gonna cut Joshua Kelly because he runs the football like shit.
He just stinks.
He's just
all
not
of these
good.
Bitches suck. Except for Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson actually, I think he's just. They don't play him good enough. But
yeah.
Anyway, next thing I want to talk about is tight end. Can we expect anything from Gerald Everett in this offense? Is there enough balls to go around for him to be either a drafted tight end or a bye week tight end? I have stats. Jared Cook had 87 targets last year. Donald Farm had 27 targets last year as well. So that's about 120.
So 1/6 of the passing attempts went to the tight end.
1/6 of all of the passing attempts went to the tight end.
I think that just continues. 1/6 of the passing. But Parham's still on the team.
Justin Herbert was second in the league in pass attempts last year, only behind Hall of Fame greatest of all time Tom Brady, who had 672 pass attempts. Nearly 1/6 of the passes went to the tight end last year. Just to give you an example, Austin Eckler had that much of passing attempts by himself in the backfield.
That's crazy.
There will still be another 32 attempts to other running backs.
That's crazy.
So he threw 1/6 of the passing attempts to just Eckler alone, and he still had 32 more attempts to the running back. I'm only saying this just because I'm telling you that the targets are going a lot elsewhere other than tight end.
Yeah, a lot of wide receiver. You have Mike Williams there. He'll be great for a couple games, then spend a month rehabbing being so good at football that he will be very bad. Keenan Allen is a target machine. You know what you're getting out of him. Gerald Everett it's very. I feel it's gonna be very similar to Jared Cook. Like he could be owned. I was in denial about Jared Cook because I think he stinks at football. But Gerald Everett. There's definitely value there. It's just how quickly he picks up this offense. It's a lot different than Seattle is. It's not a run first team. It's not mostly blocking and then a quick dip. He's gonna be having to actually run routes. So be interesting.
I think. 83 targets left with Cook. That's what he received last year. It's just hard to see him carving out a role when the first 3 options are very clear in the offense. Yeah. It's Keenan, Mike, and Austin Eckler.
And then you have second year Joshua.
Palmer. Yeah, who I think probably is going to emerge a little bit more on this offense. So
exactly.
Gerald Everett,
I
look
think
to be drafted.
Non-drafted, maybe by week.
Yeah, at best.
Considering who he plays against on defense.
Yeah. Like the Rams.
Who you think is a great tight end pick.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just don't think there's much to talk about with Everett. I mean, much of this Chargers team is the same.
Yeah.
Other than the running back and potentially a breakout season from Joshua Palmer.
I like Josh Palmer.
I wish
week to week though, it's not going to be like every week need to own.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's too many.
Wasn't he? He's gonna be like a Guyton. Wasn't it like you pick him on daily fantasy or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just randomly for just a long.
When he had a great matchup and he was good for about 150-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Palmer probably a similar-ish role.
Couple more catches.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the middle of the season, we'll be talking about Palmer more.
Yeah. Well, once there's an injury, go pick him up.
Yeah. Once Mike Williams goes down for a couple weeks from jumping over 5 people at one time.
There will be a week when waiver wire comes around. We're talking about Joshua Palmer.
Guaranteed. Book
guaranteed.
Next up, we have the Broncos. 16th hardest ranked schedule, second furthest with 27,000 miles. Biggest addition, and probably one of the biggest additions of this year, Russell Wilson is going to the Broncos. Went from the Seahawks to the Broncos. Losses, Noah Fant.
Loses.
Losses.
The looses.
Noah
Fant. He's a key attribute right there.
Where's Drew Lock? You put him as a key addition for the Seahawks. He's not.
Yeah, well, he's not a key lock. He didn't start last year.
It's not a key lock for them.
He didn't start for
key loss. Why would it be a key loss when they got a QB? Come on,
Where's
man.
my key loss in Drew Lock?
Come on,
he
man.
He didn't play last year.
So nothing.
This is your topic.
This is my topic?
This is your
topic.
topic.
I mean, everybody knows what the topic's going to be. Which one of these wide receivers?
The big boost.
Yeah, the biggest boost.
Out of wide receivers?
Yeah.
It's hard to argue.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah.
How's it hard to argue?
It's very hard to argue.
Who's going to be the number one receiver?
Oh, you're saying it's hard. Okay, it's hard to determine. You're saying.
Yeah.
He thinks it's clear cut.
That's what I said. He said it's hard to argue.
It's hard to argue. He thinks it's very clear cut.
I think it's clear cut. I can argue for my
I think that you might not even be right about the person you picked.
What? All right, let's just go over my
Go ahead. Who's clear number one?
All right, so this is my thought process. Russell Wilson is basically going to a very similar team he did from Seahawks when I'm talking about wide receivers. You got Jerry Jeudy, who looks a lot like Lockett. It's a little slower version, but great route runner. Can separate from coverage based off his route running skills. When a play breaks down, he obviously is going to be the first one there because he's the quickest in and out of his cuts. Then we have Sutton, smaller version of a Metcalf. Okay, 6'3", big size, going to make the jump balls. That's exactly why I think Sutton immediately is going to have the first connection with Russell Wilson. He's going to trust him because he's going to go up, make the play. Is Jeudy going to have those games where he, just like Lockett does, where he has the 10 catches for, a lot of yards? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but overall, Sutton, I want him because he's going to be the tight end guy. He's going to be the touchdown guy. He's going to be the guy that goes and makes the catch. He's going to be the guy that is going to be there, and he's going to have more targets overall.
Yeah.
So
I'm more worried about Jerry Jeudy because KJ Hamler is like the young version of Tyler Lockett. He really is.
I'm not. What are we talking about? KJ Hamler.
Okay.
A big bust wide receiver.
Hey, Mr. Joe Green, do me a favor.
Yep.
Can you cut that
Tag
and you clip that for me and just save
Talk
it
about
for
KJ
mid-season?
Hamler.
Right, talking about KJ Hamler.
Hasn't fucking played 5 games in any season.
I will say they don't think he's going to be ready for training camp.
Listen.
Because he's still rehabbing the ACL injury. So
yeah, sure.
He's going to be on the PUP list to start the training camp.
And
PUP list.
Who knows? Whoa.
That's tough.
Listen.
Tough. Mute it. Mute button.
I'm just telling you, he's the closest comp to Tyler Lockett. Jerry Jeudy is a great route runner. His speed isn't phenomenal like you're saying it is.
I said it's
okay. He's not
Pretty sure.
KJ Hamler's top 1% speed in the NFL history in the combine. So
extremely fast.
Extremely fast. When a play breaks down, he's the guy they're gonna go to.
He's not gonna be on the.
He's
not gonna be on the field that much.
I don't know if he's gonna be on the field enough.
You know this offense? It's gonna be double running back all fucking year on.
Well, I don't know about double running back.
You know what I mean, though. One running back leaves, another one comes in. They're gonna have double tight end most of the time. This fucking Albert is not what everybody thinks is gonna be. He's really a blocking tight end, and this Greg Dulcich is the passing tight end. But guess what? He's a rookie tight end, so it's not even gonna matter.
So you're saying is they're going to run 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back like most teams do?
They're going to have Jerry Jeudy and Sutton out there. You're going to see Hamler eight games into the season.
You also have to consider they paid Tim Patrick. Like
that's true.
He got money. They
paid Tim Patrick before or after Russell Wilson came?
Before. But you're not going to.
What if Russ doesn't like him?
KJ Hamler might not even get a second contract.
I'm just going on my gut, man. Just going with my gut.
I think KJ could carve a nice role for himself, but it's hard to imagine he sees the field a ton with them paying those 3 guys.
I don't know.
There's a lot of value, like a lot of stock put into Jeudy, Sutton, and Patrick.
Russ is getting a lot of money.
He is. And Russ has a say.
Like,
There's no doubt
Sutton's
Russ
a clear
has
number
say.
1.
He's the X in the offense, without
he's
a
clear
question.
Number 1. Jeudy has not proven to stay on the field.
Played
10 games last year.
What did KJ prove anything in the last 3 years?
I'm not saying he has. But to say that Jerry Jeudy is the clear-cut number 2 is a little crazy.
No, I don't think that's crazy.
I think
crazy.
I think he's clearly the
number
stop. 2. Mike's blowing a kiss.
Okay. Okay.
I don't even. I thought maybe you were gonna go say Tim Patrick. Maybe you would have went that. You went to the 4th fucking string on this team.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You might as well just said Seth Williams is gonna be the man. 6th round pick of this last year.
Okay. Time will tell.
I think
time will tell.
Listen, I would buy a lot of stock in this offense, especially Jeudy and Sutton. That's all I'd say. I like Jeudy a lot. He's a great route runner. He's gonna be open.
Okay, so. Since we can't even have an argument with that.
We can't even talk to me, so.
Out of these 2, we only have 2 options. We have Sutton and we have Jerry Jeudy. What are you picking?
That's tough. That's tough. Both.
Because you're not going to pick both.
No, that'd be just.
Yeah.
You're killing yourself if you do that.
Only you picked 2 wide receivers on the same team.
Yeah, that's true. It did not work out.
Godwin and Evans.
Chris Godwin, Evans. They were great individually, but together, nightmare. I don't know. I slightly lean Jeudy because he's going a little later in drafts, and I think he's going to see 100+ targets. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, Sutton's going to get more touchdowns, in my opinion, and it's the trade-off. Will Jeudy be able to make it up in receptions
or yards
to Sutton's touchdowns?
Fair.
But I think I'd take both, but not on the same team.
Yeah.
Like in a draft, if I can get either one, I would take either one.
Yep. I'm not worried about Jerry Jeudy's injuries because he had one injury season.
Yeah, it was just last year.
It was one injury, not 5, like KJ Hamler.
If he had more of a history, it'd be different. But
I'm not allowed to speak, so.
I like KJ Hamler. I just think.
I mean, you should have said it with some like authority or something.
I don't need to. I got shut down half a second into it, so why even play?
That's how.
Why even feed into it? Why even feed into it? That's why I told him to clip it. Just clip it.
This is worse. This is a higher.
Oh yeah, it's so much worse than what you said about Quez Watkins. Yeah, let me tell you.
Wait. I guarantee Quez Watkins has a better year than KJ Hamler.
Woo! I like this one. What are
50,
you shaking off?
50.
Yeah.
Easily.
Give me that.
Oh, I like that one.
Absolutely.
That's
4th
good.
string versus the one that's actually starting.
Who's starting?
Quez is starting?
He's the 3rd wide receiver on the team.
I mean,
Whiteside?
No, I mean, starting is like loose.
That's a very loose term.
He will be on the field 60%, 70% of the time. KJ he's not even going to play 8 games.
We'll see.
How do you know that?
You said he's going to start on a PUP list.
Yeah, but you could be off the PUP list by week 1.
Yeah.
It's just training camp PUP. So he's
out. He's not even going to be on that.
We'll see. Ooh, that's a good debate. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I'm happy with my bet.
That's topic, which I kind of don't have much of a thing to say about this. What do we expect from running back room coming this season with Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams?
I mean, last year they both had split it. I've never seen before. Exactly 203 attempts each.
50-50 down the fucking middle.
Separated between 15 yards. Javonte had 15 more yards than he did, I believe. Javonte had the passing down work, but Melvin Gordon had 4 more touchdowns. They're saying that Javante's going to get more work this year, but yet they brought Melvin Gordon back in. So I think I'm probably going 50-50 down the middle again.
Yeah.
They were both valuable to own last year, and I kind of expect it to be the same.
It's kind of just like 1 week someone's going to go off and the other one's not.
Yeah. I kind of brought it up in case you guys had a different opinion.
It's kind of one of those, like, it's sad to see that Javonte Williams is not going to have a full workload.
I don't know. I'm not totally buying on the 50-50 thing yet. I think Javonte is more talented than Melvin. He's younger. Melvin's what? He's going to be 38? No, 38. I'm sorry.
Wow, what is this, the NBA?
Wild.
Yeah, no.
That's
sorry.
Wild.
He's going to be
38.
He's gonna
38.
Frank Gore's
You're
out
almost
there.
38.
Frank Gore.
He's 29. Sorry.
9 years.
I think it'll be 60-40. I think it'll be closer to that. I just think Javante's more talented. I don't like that Javante's like not quote unquote gunning. They said that was like the quote. Yeah. He's not gunning for the number 1 role, but I think it'll be closer.
Is this a new coach on this team?
Yes, Nathan Hackett.
That was the Packers.
Yeah, Packers. He was also like the Vikings, I think, at one point. Someone went through today and broke down every team he's been on the splits, but it's also like really hard to look at it because the backup running back or starter was hurt every single time. So it's hard to get a feel if they'll actually split carries.
Do you think that it had something to do with him being the coach, that they were always hurt? I mean, think about it. If every single team he's ever been on, the backup was always hurt, or the somebody was always hurt.
Cases.
And considering Melvin Gordon has an injury history,
he was the offense coordinator when Fournette was on the Jags. The year I think he had 108 targets or whatever that fucking bullshit was. Dumb. But I don't know. I think it's risky. Look, I'll say this: I wouldn't draft Davante right now. Davante's going top 7 or top 8 in mock drafts.
Yeah, that's insane.
Which is absurd.
He would if there's no Gordon. I would 100% believe that.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's just too high. You're drafting him at his ceiling. Like really, you'd want him at the end of the first round. Probably not even that. Like beginning of the second.
Let me just say this: I'd rather have Hall on the Jets than Williams.
Ooh, oh, that's a hot take. Holy shit!
It's not that hot. It's not as hot as you think it is.
Because I'd rather have a competition against Carter,
yeah,
than Melvin Gordon, who's basically honestly Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams are almost identical on the way they run. I know Javonte Williams is a better catcher, but
I see where Mike's
they're almost
coming
identical.
From. Mike is banking on the fact that Breece Hall is a better running back.
Yeah.
Than Michael Carter. Michael Carter can catch the ball better, but he's not a better running back by a long shot.
Carter is going to be a simple third down back. I know Hall can do it all.
It's not as hot of a take as you think it is.
Yeah.
I just look at it as Javonte is being drafted so high in fantasy.
So
I'd rather own Hall over Javonte in the first round.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know where Hall's going with me.
Fourth.
Fourth.
I'd say end of the third.
By the time draft season truly comes around,
he'll be in the late second.
Yeah. It's not as hot of a take as you think it is, Mike. I like that.
Damn.
Next up, I want to talk about Noah Fant being gone. 90 targets are no longer there. I can't say his last name, but I'm going to call him Albert.
Just call him Albert O. That's what everyone calls him.
Albert O, baby. He had 40 targets last year. In his year 2, 330 yards. Did not show, what he was expected to be a 4th-round pick. They also they drafted another tight end, which was considered, out of all the things they needed on this offense and defense, not a lot of people thought they should have reached on the tight end this early in 4th round with Greg Dulcich, who's considered more of a passing, catching tight end coming from UCLA. And I just want to point out that a lot of people are big on Albert O, so I want to know what you guys are thinking. 90 targets are gone from the tight end position.
I don't, as good of a player as Russell Wilson is, I don't think he's as good as he was like 4 or 5 years ago. Like 3 years ago. There's a lot of people are giving him such high expectations that I feel like it's still going to be the same kind of offense. It's going to be run heavy, and every week we're going to be saying, let Russ cook. And it'll cook for 2 games, and then it'll just go back to running the ball. It's just, I don't really understand why he wanted to go to Denver. It's the same kind of offense.
It's honestly the same same thing.
Slightly better offensive line.
And this defense, we don't talk much about defense, but this is probably one of the better young defenses in the league coming forward. Them and Carolina. Mm-hmm. So
until Joe Green drafts them in the fantasy draft, and then they all die.
This is actually the first year I'm not as high as I was the prior 3.
That's
so
insane.
they're gonna be good. They're gonna be very
insane.
good this year.
No, because it doesn't matter. It's a debate for another time. But
no, say you're a wacky ass fucking.
No, because they lost Fangio, who was a top 5 defensive coordinator in the league, and I don't think the talent on their defense is as good as people thought. Like, guys were playing well above their head. Like, they just shouldn't have been playing as well as they were. Like, especially the linebackers they had last year. I mean, the starting 2 linebackers got hurt. 2 randos filled in and were like all pros. It didn't make any sense. So that's why I just don't buy into it as much.
Okay.
But as far as Alberto,
my simple statement is, when has Russell Wilson ever had a top 10 tight end?
Perfect.
Greg Olsen.
Right there.
Right there.
Greg Olsen. No, you're talking about Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham. Sorry.
But like, Alberto is probably the 4th option in this team. Like, it's not really worth it.
And he can't stay healthy. He's missed a ton of games.
Yeah, he came out of college
missing games.
Hurt, like, literally.
I mean, I wish I'm really high on the rookie tight end. I wish it was true that tight ends were good coming out of their season, but he would probably. I'm telling you, in maybe 2 years, look at this tight end.
Who?
Greg Dulwich.
Oh, you're talking about the rookie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in fantasy wise, not gonna mean anything. I think that's all for these
ponies.
Next up,
the Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders. 3rd hardest ranked schedule.
I hate to see it.
9th furthest traveling, 20,000 miles.
Freaking flyer miles.
One of the key additions of the season, Davante Adams goes to his former teammate in Carr. What the fuck is this?
Key addition. Marcus Mariota. Addition by subtraction, baby.
He left. Marcus Mariota.
Mariota.
Mike's putting it in the loss. What is it? Loses column.
You think that's a loss?
Yeah, because I think Mariota's going to ball this year. Anyway, DeMarcus Robinson is an addition. I'm pretty sure they got someone else. They lost. Who's your boy at wide receiver?
They lost a few. Brian Edwards.
I forgot Brian Edwards. Gone. Rest in peace. The hype.
Ruggs is gone.
Well, I mean, he's been gone for a little bit.
He's running away with his blood test. That's
if you really want to talk about other additions, they have Keenan Cole, Mac Hollins.
Yeah, nothing
randos,
of crazy substance that was worth bringing.
Right. And they drafted a running back, Zamir White.
Zamir White.
Who's probably like 4th on the depth chart, to be honest.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
For now, right.
Yeah, he's definitely going to make the team.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're going to talk about first. We have to talk about Adams.
Yep.
Adams and Carr go way back. 2004 when they were in college.
2004.
I don't know what year.
What the fuck?
Fresno State. Fresno State.
Mike, what year do you think it is now?
20 years ago.
2004.
I'm joking.
Fucking
that's how long ago they were teammates, though. They were a long time. What is it, 15 years?
It was 2000, I think. 10 they were teammates.
Yeah.
Or 11, 12, something around there.
It's
still
2012.
Long fucking time since they've been teammates. Not that I think that it's gonna be that much of a hard thing to do. Why are you fucking staring at me?
I was waiting for you to get that word.
A hard thing to rekindle their love, as what you said.
Rekindle their love. They're college sweethearts.
You think they're in a scissor?
I don't think that's how that works.
All right.
Well, that's not the correct anatomy for that.
Don't want to assume nothing from them.
That's fair. It's 2022,
Yeah.
not 2004.
Can't
so
assume. Not
Can't assume.
2004. This would be a different conversation.
2004, I can say whatever I want.
Oh,
This day and age, no. All right, what are we expecting from Adams?
I think that's a question for Joe Green. What are we
Wide
expecting
receiver
from Adams?
one?
Oh, God,
Wide
here we
receiver
go.
1?
Yeah. Do you think he can still put up those crazy numbers?
It's so hard to say because in the past I knew what, like the last 3 years, I knew what John Gruden's offense was. I don't know what Josh McDaniels is going to do. Like I went through and looked every year on the Patriots, and he literally is like a chameleon. He adapts to whatever the offense is.
He's never had a wide receiver like this since Santana Moss.
Well, they
Not
had
Santana
Randy
Moss,
Moss.
Randy Moss.
Yeah, I mean he's had Gronk, Aaron Hernandez, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, but they've never had an offense like this either. This honestly might be the most talented offense he's coached, other than the Moss Welker combo. But that was it. It was just Moss and Welker. The next year Moss was gone, and then it was Gronk, Hernandez, and Welker. But I don't know what to expect. But yeah, I think Adams probably still a top 5 wide receiver. I mean, Carr's gonna throw him the ball 140 times.
Bigger question is, what do you think Carr is going to be this year?
Yeah. That was my follow-up.
Because we already know, like, to me, I don't care. I'm going to draft Adams in the first round every time.
Yeah.
It's the question is whether we're talking about 5-6 years ago. I remember I drafted Carr as my QB1 because he came off his biggest year. Can we expect that huge year from him before he got injured?
He had a great year last year.
Pretty decent.
For
Very good year
for
last year.
football wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Fantasy wise, no.
Yeah.
I think that's tough to say. Look,
What was he? Finished like a 15th ranked?
Yeah.
QB?
He was mid of
Probably.
the pack as far as
Yeah.
fantasy-wise, but there was a point in the season where he was in the running for MVP, according to Joe Green.
Early on. Let's
For Joe Green.
Like after 3 weeks, he was in the MVP
Yeah.
race. But it's tough because listen, Carr's never had a season. He's had one season where he's thrown over 30 touchdowns. He's had one season last year where he's thrown over 4,500 yards. Obviously he's not a mobile quarterback, so maybe there's value if you get him late in drafts as a backup quarterback.
You think he's gonna throw 30 touchdowns?
I would hope. I mean, if you don't throw 30 touchdowns with Adams, Waller, and Hunter Renfrow, you're never doing it. Let's be honest. Like, I mean,
Marcus Robinson is a good ad too. So
I don't even like Robinson. I like Matt Collins better.
Either way,
I'm just saying.
yeah.
Either way, if you can't throw 30 touchdowns with those 3, then you might as well retire. But yeah, I guess he's a good late round pick if you think he's a spot starter or maybe a QB1. It's hard to be that when everyone runs.
Fringe QB1.
Yeah, fringe QB1. It's probably about where he's worth.
Because he doesn't run, so you don't have that crazy upside.
Right. Like that's why I like Trey
Lance. He has to throw
Lance.
40 touchdowns for him to be great. Your QB1.
At least 30, like 35,
Yeah,
I should
you
say.
need at least
It's
35 to break in.
Just because of the runners.
Yeah.
Next up, I think what we all talked about is what we're gonna see from Josh Jacobs going to year 5, whatever it is, 4 of Josh Jacobs. Always hurt. They picked up Kenyon Drake last year to back him up. He got hurt. He had a broken right foot, I believe. What do we expect from from Josh Jacobs, who they did not sign his 5th year? What do we expect from this year? This is a make or break a year for him.
Yeah.
Is this going to be the big year? This is payday.
I mean,
He doesn't get paid if he doesn't do good.
That's a fact.
That's fact.
it's a fact. It's just so tough. It's so tough to say. I'm telling you, with Josh McDaniels, you don't know what to expect from this guy. Like, go look, and every year he's been an offense coordinator. Cam Newton, what'd they do? They changed the whole offense so it was a QB draw.
But in this offense,
What are you talking about in this offense?
you're looking at this offense. It's on paper.
I don't know
Yeah.
if Drake is going to be healthy week 1. They say he should be. They say he should be,
Yeah.
but
He
you never
should
know.
be. It wasn't that serious.
He's not
of an
that young.
injury.
What do you mean? Just fucking broke his ankle.
I mean, yeah, but like it's not like he just had ACL surgery or
A break isn't as bad as like a torn muscle is. So.
Right.
Because once the break heals, it heals, and it's
Should
just as
played
strong
on.
as it
Should have
was.
just played on.
Should've
They're in the
just
playoffs.
Played on.
I wish they did make the playoffs. Fucks.
He got hurt though early in the year. He didn't even make it to like week 10. If I remember right.
I don't think anybody makes it week 10 with his running back group.
Jesus.
So then White will have a chance to step up.
Also, I wouldn't. You said, what'd you say? He had a disappointing season, or he didn't look good. I mean, look. Think about this.
I owned him, so I could tell you how
Well,
the season went.
But he only had one game with less than 10 points last season.
Yeah.
So
he's Jordan Howard.
Yeah. He won't disappoint.
He honestly is Jordan Howard.
That's a very fair comp.
I mean, to me, that's respectable. Like, at least you weren't getting duds from him.
That's just what we want for somebody who drafts in the top few rounds.
Well, he was what, a second round, third round pick?
You know,
second
when
pick,
I
second
remember
round
when
pick.
I drafted the Bills running back, he got me constant tens.
Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary.
Yeah, and he got it the easy way with receptions. You have to sweat out. Hopefully, Josh Jacobs scores a touchdown or something. Maybe you'll get 10 points out of this guy.
As a first round pick, he needs the ball out.
Yeah, he does. Listen,
there's no better year to have. Honestly, right now, besides year one, there's no better year to own Josh Jacobs, I believe. I don't know where I rank him yet, but there's no better year than this year.
Interesting. You had him out of sight in your top 10.
Well, he's not going to be top 10.
I'm just saying.
What did he
You
finish
don't
last
know where
year,
you have him
14,
right, but he's not in
15?
your top 10.
Last year, I could look where he finished. It probably was not top. It definitely wasn't top 10.
I said 14, 15.
Yeah, maybe was around that area. But, I mean, he also, the one thing that I'd be concerned with is, he repeat 54 receptions. That was his career high by 21. I don't know that that's really possible, especially when they added Davante Adams.
Yeah, that's going to go down.
So,
Well, guess what? This is probably the worst defense in the league. So they're going to have to put up points.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to put up points. That doesn't necessarily mean they'll be running it a ton, though.
That means they're going to be running it less.
And passing it maybe more to him.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Maybe.
Just because they're always going to be playing from behind. Think of how many you played the Chargers twice, the Chiefs twice, and now the Broncos.
I mean, it was a similar situation last year.
Yeah,
but they never really felt out of games.
They were never out of games.
So,
but they always had
They had to keep playing offense instead of just sitting on a ball, which would help Jacobs.
I remember the Chargers game. It's touchdown, 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 touchdown. They had to.
He finished 12th last year, by the way.
Yeah.
Know what's even wild about that? That was ahead of Nick Chubb.
That's not surprising.
Well, Chubb was hurt.
Yeah, but Chubb rushed for 1,200 yards. And
he had 4
touchdowns.
catches?
Yeah, that's probably had no receptions.
4 receptions?
And the one catch was the one where he kneeled it too?
Yeah. He kneeled it down on the 1 yard line. That was brutal. You hate to see things like that. I'm not terribly afraid of Josh Jacobs.
Top 10 running back?
No.
I would take him for the upside if you got him late, in the third round.
Third round's fine with me. I'm not risking one of my top 2 picks.
Pick for him.
I just one of my running backs where I might have to try to steal one in the second round.
You have the 12th pick again.
Yeah.
He's not getting back.
This is like Robson last year, so.
He's got to produce, otherwise he's never getting paid. So
I think the one thing
it's always intriguing.
That is because he has to play well, but it's will he be on third downs? Probably not, right? Because they got Brandon Bolden. He's that Patriots type back, right? Yeah. Blocks. They can throw the ball out of the backfield.
That's the 4th running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but Kenyon Drake, I could tell you firsthand, can't block. Can't block for shit. Josh Jacobs, okay, but he can't play through it. He gets beat up. So that's why I think Brandon Bolden's going to steal some of that.
So then you're saying that Josh Jacobs won't always be out there on third down.
No.
And then he'll still be splitting work with Kenyon Drake.
I don't think it'll be split.
Well, just even if it's 70-30, and then you're taking away the majority of the third down work he had last year. Well, that's not great.
Drake was brought in to be that third down back, kind of.
Yeah, but he can't block.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, exactly. He can't block.
Yeah.
You got to block with his offensive line. But.
Yeah.
Right.
Because his offensive line can't block.
That's why they added Brandon Bolden.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm concerned, but I'd put a third round pick on him.
That's
I wouldn't reach.
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't reach.
That's fine with me.
I still think one question to me is.
Go ahead, say Hunter Renfrow's name.
Well, he will be involved in this, but Derek Carr. As much as I like Derek Carr, can he support 3 top 30 receivers? Because I'm including Waller in the top 30, right? If you just sort wide receiver and tight ends together.
I can do math.
And I don't think he can necessarily.
He just so wants Hunter Renfrow to be
No, but
So good.
I think Hunter Renfrow is probably the one who gets hurt the most by Adams.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's not in the top 30 anymore.
Right.
He's probably not in top 40 anymore.
No,
it'd be tough.
He's top 40.
No, because he's the third option on this offense.
Right.
Really, the fourth if you're gonna count them running the ball. They do run the ball.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I just was curious on who you guys think gets hurt the most. I think it's him.
No, it's definitely him.
Yeah, some people said Waller, but I was like, no way,
No.
because he's too athletic. He's at a mismatch every time he's on
too
the
fast,
field.
too good.
I just don't see Robinson or Hollins or Keenan Cole being like. I just don't see it.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
don't think anyone sees them being.
Yeah, no.
I just don't see them taking that many
Impacts.
targets away from Hunter.
But we're talking about Adams.
Davante Adams takes 150.
Because before that, it was just Renfrow and it was Waller.
Okay,
That was it.
All there
so
was.
all right, so it's
So then you're adding.
Hunter and Waller basically ran, in the middle.
Yeah.
Do you want to agree?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna take double coverage from them. It's gonna be Adams.
What is?
Imagine having Hunter Renfrow 1-on-1 all day long.
Yeah, that's
fair.
a good counterpoint.
That's
But
just my counter.
here's my counterpoint to your counterpoint. When has a double team ever affected Davante Adams?
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with that too.
That's all we're saying. He's
But-
going to get 150, 160 targets. That's a guaranteed.
Okay, but now is Carr and Rodgers where you could throw through the double coverage.
I don't even think it's that though.
He's open.
He's gonna throw.
He's
dude.
open.
No.
I don't know what games you're watching. You
How
can put
many
4
times
guys on
does
him and he's
Aaron
open.
Rodgers throw him open? That's not. You can't say.
20, 30%.
People argue that Aaron Rodgers is the best QB of all time. Arm talent.
There's arm talent,
talent.
Yeah. So,
but as an accuracy wise, not always.
no, I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the best QBs of all time, if not the best QB based off arm talent.
Oh, I'd take Tom Brady 12 days a week. For accuracy, 100%.
But
All day.
what does that have to do? Like,
My
What
point
does
is,
that to do with it?
my point is that Adams does beat double coverage, but he doesn't beat it all the time. Sometimes it's the pass that beats it.
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, and then,
So
the next look is to Darren Waller.
And there's no better person. Waller to me, like Carr and Waller, like they're good together, but there's no better relationship between Hunter and Carr.
No, but I think
Carr be laying people out just so he doesn't get a pick.
No, but I think
That's fair.
with Adams drawing the doubles, now Waller no longer sees them, and
Yeah.
that man is such a mismatch.
Yeah.
Like I think he could have a massive season now that they have Adams, and I just think Renfrow. They'll look to him on third down still. He'll still be there third down
Third
guy.
Renfrow.
Won't be third and Renfrow without that because he'll have the single coverage on third downs.
So he'll be a
But-
consistent 10 guy. 5 catches, 50 yards.
Probably. Yeah, maybe he gets a touchdown here and there, but
That's not top 30.
That's not. Yeah, that's my point.
I think no
top
matter
30.
what you said not top 40. I think no matter what he's top 40.
The difference between top 30 and top 40 is a point. It's a point. It's literally one fantasy point.
Then I just say he's top 30 then.
Oh, that's fine.
But then you're. Yeah, then
I
then
think in white
you're
on white
thinking
crime
this whole
here.
offense has an absurd season.
There's
Then.
gonna be a white.
They
white
gotta have the best offensive.
How many
performance.
You're
wins-
gonna need it to win the division.
How many wins do you think they're getting?
I think they always split with Kansas City. It's facts.
No, they never
They
split
don't?
with Kansas City. No, it's everyone else they beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Can't see beats
Beat
on
their
them.
ass
Beats
twice.
on them.
I think they've lost to Kansas City 5 times in a row now.
Just it doesn't have to be a very educated. Just give me a number. You think they're making the playoffs?
No, because of the division.
Okay.
So then
so then you're crazy thinking that
I
they're
think
just
at the
gonna
third
split
hardest
3
schedule,
times.
they're gonna keep passing the ball, and then hopefully everyone eats, just like last year.
Well, everyone.
It's
did
a
eat
good
last
conversation to have, and we'll probably continue to have it all year. So
year. Probably. But I think in order for them all to finish, like everyone has to have an insane season if they're gonna make the playoffs.
they're not making the playoffs.
Or
So that's my point. Then you
Or
think
they
then
have
you're
to-
lower
that's-
on.
that's
them.
or
why
they
I'm
have to
lower.
play from behind, like they always do.
Yeah, or they're
You are-
or it's like 2016 all over again, where they're literally playing from behind and like getting a miracle win at the end, or just losing instead. But that's my point. Like they have to have an absurd season offensively for all of them to be fantasy relevant or top tier fantasy players.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see it. That's just my opinion. Anything else, guys?
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's all right. Like, follow, subscribe everywhere.
FFD_ all underneath. He finally did it.
Yeah.
You
Read
like
it below.
He's not fired.
It's right below.
Made it another week.
He made it.
Yeah, we have our quarrels with you still.
Yeah. We'll talk about it after.
Like, follow, subscribe.
Bye, smooches. Mwah. Love you. Love me. Love you.